has kind of a toasted rice flavor to it and aroma. And it's also a little bit on the floral side. Of course, I adorably kept referring to it as Panda Leaf because I have a little bit of a panda nickname, Panda Chef. Typically, it's used in desserts. In fact, there's something called a pandan cake that's found in Southeast Asia. And it's also used for weaving mats or baskets. And that's really it. There weren't a lot of savory applications for it. It's a little bit one note. There's not a lot of citrus going on. There are, though, as I heated it, I found there are tannins that come out of it. Much like tea, you actually get a little tannic quality coming out of the flavor as well. Oof. I've only tasted the extract, which is a bright neon green for some reason. I mean, it looks like Mountain Dew times 10. It's not funky, but it's definitely more musty. I tasted it, immediately thought of Grandma's attic. All right, so first I'm gonna get the broth started. Shallot, ginger, a little garlic and lemongrass. And while that's going, I'll actually prepare steamed pandan. So it'll just be a piece of fish. A little pinch of butter. Oops. Pinch of salt. Couple layers of lemon. Let's see how my basket weaving skills are. A nice little package like this. And then I'm gonna actually need assistance here. So I'm gonna tie my little package here. This will go straight into the oven. I just thought about, I thought about the cooking of Southeast Asia, and I've thought about, things with leaves. So I thought about tea leaves, and I thought about banana leaf, and I've done a lot of cooking in the past where things have been steamed in there and it takes on that kind of flavor. And the broth is super simple. The broth is a take on a kind of like a Thai curry. So there's a little bit of coconut, a little splash of lobster stock that kind of rounds it out, gives it a nice shellfishy quality to it. Masman curry. Again, those flavors, those Southeast, is invoking those Southeast Asian flavors. And then I did put a little bit of the pandan extract into the broth as well, which you'll see later. I was thinking it was going to turn it bright green. It didn't. So I'll give that a whisk. Here's the gel.
What is this?
This gel is pandan leaf, a little bit of kaffir lime, some agave, and water. Fish nice and steamed. You really get a nice, I mean, you get the lobster, you get the coconut, but you definitely get a little of that toasty rice smell and aroma coming off of here as well. That is really interesting.
How does it taste?
It tastes good. One thing that I think is nice, it's very light. So you have a lot of Southeast Asian flavors going on. The palate is wonderful. It's very delicate, very mild. But then the pandan kind of finishes in your mouth. So as you're finishing eating, that is a flavor that lingers, but in a pleasant way, in kind of just a lingering, very subtle, wispy almost way. So. It has a very an oceany fattiness to it that I think is great, and I just thought it would be really interesting for him to maybe utilize that with some kind of charcuterie.